Why are you doing this?
Do you believe in God, Joan? Ever tried to look for him? I look for him in the unlikely things that happen. Little coincidences.
Diddle, diddle, black coat's daughter, what was in the holy water? Gone to bed on unclean men, the angels they forgot her.
There's something funny. You smiled a little.
Funny? No. Why? I mean, I just wish you could stay and see my performance. That's all.
So there were a lot of movies in this decade about sort of poisonous psychological loneliness. And people being corrupted by it, either by their own illness or some outside supernatural force corrupting them and changing them, and that being the overarching arc of the story. Or the will there, won't there. Is there something supernatural, or are they mad? There's like, I don't know, what is it? Saint Mary, or Possum, or...
Saint Maud?
Saint Maud, thank you. There's just a whole bunch of them. They're almost too much to choose from. I came across The Black Coat's Daughter. It had a good reputation, but again was underseen, and I wanted to do due diligence, so I watched it. And much like The Wailing, I really liked it, but I didn't feel like I got it. And that was my original reason for you guys to want to talk about it again. Lee and I talked about it on the phone, and I was like, yeah, I have seen it before, but I better watch it fresh because I hadn't cracked the code. And on the second watch, the movie clicked into place for me in a way that, like, I went from liking it but being a little bit confused with liking it and being really impressed by the filmmaking. The other thing that people are talking about more and more these days is nepotism and Nepo babies. And everybody getting into Hollywood because they're, you know, so-and-so's son or so-and-so's daughter. And do they have the things to back it up? Osgood Perkins' dad was Anthony Perkins. So he's like a Hollywood baby, you know, running around, and he's loved the horror genre his whole life, and he's got around to making this movie. He's in a place of privilege, and good for him. But he made a hell of a good movie here, I think, and it does not spoon feed its audience at all.
It enjoys its silences.
In fact, I am embarrassed to admit, but I will, that the fact that two of the actresses were playing one character was missed on me the first time I watched the movie. That was the thing that fucked me up. I didn't realize that Emma Roberts was playing the older version of the character in the back timeline. I thought it was in the evil repeating itself. There was something, because they changed the actresses somehow that fucked me up. I missed some essential piece of dialogue the first time I watched
Plus
it.
the name titles, I think, kind of throw you off.
Because she's using someone else's name. She strangles this woman and takes her ID, and that's where the name Joan comes from, right? Anyway, it also has taken place over two different timelines. And all of this is kind of hard to get your head around, and the movie doesn't help you at all. You're introduced to these two characters, but you don't know that they're the same characters in two different timelines. It just eventually gets unspooled to you. You don't fully understand the significance. One of the students has this dream that she's led outside by this dark figure, and she sees the wreck of her parents' car, and she screams her mother's name. The next day, her parents are late picking her up. And she knows that something bad has happened. She and this other student, who has her own reasons to stay by herself over this Christmas, they end up sort of stranded together in this lonely, icy landscape. And the loneliness and the loss has had a much deeper, more devastating hit to this character than we or she realizes. I believe that there is a supernatural component to the movie. Like, I don't think it's just about someone who goes crazy and stays crazy. But I think it is open to interpretation. And for all of those reasons, I'm very impressed by the movie. And if Osgood Perkins wants to keep cranking them out, sign me up. But I missed a lot the first time I watched the movie, and I'm sure there's more to be said. So I'm very curious to hear what you guys thought of it. I get people loving it, but I also get people going, what the hell was that? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do have to pay attention because there's little clues that they drop along the way, and sometimes they're, just thrown away in a line. Like, I can't remember what the demon says. You're pretty, I think. It's the other girl. Or I think you're pretty. Do you remember that at all?
I'm not sure what you're referring to directly, but
who's the first actress that's possessed?
You're talking about that's the Kieran
Yeah,
Shipka,
not sure
like
how
the
you
younger,
say her name.
the younger version.
Kieran Shirpa?
Yep.
Yeah,
Shippy-
and she
Shipka?
played Kat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, her and the Roberts character have that same line. That was sort of like little signals that they were the same person. There is a dream-like quality to it, or look to the film. It feels very hypnotic. I think there's a lot of The Shining in it. I also like the fact that they keep sort of the characters when things really start to spiral out of control. He puts the actors not either in the center of the frame or to the left of, just off kilter. These little touches to really do this sense of paranoia and just sort of hypnotic grinding away at you to make you feel so uneasy. I think that's a great somatic trick that really sort of plays with the viewer. But it's also the kind of screenplay where it just unravels and unravels and unravels, and you're never bored. You have to be patient with it.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things where
hard to be ahead of it because you know so little for so long.
Yep. But I think it's a great, amazing ghost story. And it's one of those, it has no reason to not be on my list.
Again, it's one of many great titles from the decade.
Well, and I hadn't heard of it, and you had a review for the show, and it made my list. I love this movie. I cannot thank you enough. Like I was, again, very hard on your other selection.
Yeah.
But I'm in like the exact opposite place where this was a pleasure from beginning to end. This was among the best of like the slow burn, figuring out the mystery. Plus, I mean, a great cast. I mean, Lauren Hawley, where the heck has she been?
Nice to see you, girl.
Yeah, it's nice to see her. And James Remar is the parents.
Actually playing a decent guy for once.
Yep.
And like, I remember originally I was thinking, okay, they are the same character. Then I started to doubt they were the same character. Then there was a conversation that happens when we kind of realize, who these are the parents of.
Parents.
And then I was like, like based on, and I think sometimes, like speaking of nepotism, Emma Roberts. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah. Like Eric is not, while he's an Academy Award nominated actor. Our mutual friend Kurt said that he does real estate videos.
Oh wow!
In New Jersey, he will do anything.
Yeah.
At all. Like I saw this awful creature movie or something one time, there he was. There he is. He doesn't look like he's acting with anybody else. They just did shots of him saying lines. But I mean, Julia Roberts still to this day is a presence, And
if your auntie is Julia Roberts and you want a foot in the door in Hollywood, you probably have it.
And I'm not sure I've always been on board with Emma Roberts, but she is really good in this. She's just she's
playing a pretty low status crazy character in winter in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like she could be in much more comfortable, cozy rom-com sets if she wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I think she did this movie because she wanted to do this movie.
That's a great.
So that says she's got good taste in screenplays.
It is a great horror script. Maybe she read the novel too. I mean,
she delivered the performance for me.
but everybody delivered a solid performance. Even it's only in a few scenes, but that priest at the beginning, right? And that was just an odd relationship he has to the cat character from the beginning, and then we see that talent show where she's singing that song, and it's like this. She seems like this sweet girl, but there's something else going on here,
and she
throughout,
thinks she's killing it.
Yeah, I mean, and we've all seen those situations, but I didn't know what the payoff ultimately was going to be, but I didn't really want this movie to end. I would have been happy to spend 4 hours with these characters with this exact pacing and this exact style, because this is the type of horror movie that Jason Dubray loves. So thank you again. I have some criticisms, but they're, again, very, very minimal things here and there, but it's...
Upon watching it the second time, I was embarrassed that I didn't put together I feel like I missed some essential piece of dialogue on the first pass, because on the second pass it seemed very clear to me, but it didn't the first time. And I think it's just the different casting. 9 years pass between the first murders that take place at the school and her escaping the asylum, which is what we're privy to. But because we're not sure of the timeline, it initially feels like this is all happening simultaneously.
All at the same time. Like,
little clues should have been were sort of ringing, because they showed the murder elite scenes of the two nuns, at least once, twice, just from different point of views.
Again, I just thought it was like evil repeating itself, but it's so much more sinister than that, because I think, and this is my interpretation, and I will hear others, but a literal demon told her that her parents were dead, and it was telling her the truth, and she knew it. And it offered itself to her, and having nothing else, she accepted it.
Because
and when it leaves,
she had nothing else.
When it leaves, what does she say? You remember? Please don't go. It like moves from her to the windowsill, and from the windowsill it just vanishes, and she is devastated. And this
alone.
Journey from escaping the psych ward to going back to the school is not about committing more murders, although when she happens upon one of the victim's parents, she takes it as a sign. She wants the demon back. And the demon isn't coming back. The demon did all the damage it can do and moved on. So as she is weeping at the end of the movie, it's not because she suddenly is aware of her madness and is feeling regret over the murders she's committed. She's weeping because the demon didn't come back, and she is still alone. And that is a powerful ending to a horror movie.
It is.
Like, damn, son. But
I mean, there's a couple things I could criticize.
If it was a story about evil repeating itself,
it's a meditation.
It would have
grief.
still worked. Like, it still worked for me when I misinterpreted it, is my point. And I don't know if I just exposed my weakness as a critic, but I totally missed this movie the first time I watched. I still liked it, but I missed it somehow.
Like, I have two things to say. One is fairly superficial. I feel like if Emma Roberts didn't want to be alone, she wouldn't have a problem.
Right.
But that's to the
Crazy
side.
people, and she's very crazy, but she's very composed.
Doesn't matter there. But how do you two feel about the exorcism scene? I don't know if I needed that or not. Like, that's something I'm wrestling with. I guess is the biggest
in a movie
wonder.
That wasn't conventional. I think it stood out because it's a very conventional scene and approach. We have seen that scene before. But I like that it was a brief and effective exercise.
They didn't make a meal out of it, for sure. I just wasn't sure if I needed it or not.
Right. I don't know. Like, there's something about the way they patiently unspool the story. And there were a lot of movies like that in the decade that just really trusted its audience in a way that I'm amazed that it's still popular, because it really feels like a lot of movies, if they don't grab the kids' attention in the first 5 minutes, they're in their phones and the movie sucks because it was boring. And and this would be one of those for a lot of people.
Filmmakers in this decade just kind of like, I give up. I cannot keep up with this. Leave kids to their YouTube videos and whatever else. I'm going to make the movie I'm going to make, and I'm going to trust that my audience will be intelligent and they will find this. I mean, this could be in the company of Midsummer and Hereditary and, you know, some of these. Again, going back to at the beginning, you mentioned the idea of elevated horror.
Yeah.
You know, it comfortably belongs in that company. Yet it doesn't. I don't think this has the following. I'm not sure how many people have seen this. I wish I knew about it years ago as opposed to now, but I'm happy that I've now discovered it.
Yeah.
So.
And if Emma Roberts was too pretty for the part, maybe she was, a case could be made.
I don't think so.
I think it balances out with the
No,
use of
it's just-
James Remar, because before we know how bad she is, when James Remar approaches her and is offering her help, because of who he is and our history with James Remar and the fact that she's by herself and looking this vulnerable,
Yeah.
he reeks of bad news.
And
and he is not bad news.
no,
he is not
he
at
is
all.
just a genuine guy. But
He's just cursed, actually.
yeah, I mean that hotel scene where she's wrapped in a towel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if I knocked on the door and saw a young girl in a towel like that, I'd be like, oh, I'll come back later
Yeah.
to have this long conversation about things. But we're just like, where is this going?
But it's just a misdirection, and I think
But
part of it was the.
but they aren't
casting.
lying to us. I mean, there's nothing untruthful about it. It's just,
Well, and why is he being so affectionate to this lonely young woman?
well,
Because he had a daughter once,
Mhm.
and she died, and he has this hole in his life that he wants to do something about it. And in true horror movie fashion, no good deed goes unpunished.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember the name of the actor. Lucy Boynton, I think, is the third girl.
Right.
Okay.
And she does a great job. I
Dealing
mean,
with a
she's
pregnancy scare.
yes. I mean, we have that in there, and this whole subplot with her boyfriend and stuff, and
And
she's
her parents.
she's older. She's the more seemingly the more worldly of the two girls that are stuck for this holiday in this school.
And we start thinking they're going to bond with this supernatural adventure together. But no.
Nope. Not gonna happen. No.
I'm sort of running out of things to say about the movie other than please watch it. if you
Yes,
haven't
check
seen
it out.
Yep.